What's the story, Morning Glory? What is the word, Hummingbird? Thank you so much for clicking on my channel and for joining me for this very quick recap of the Married at First Sight after party that came on this week with Nicole, Jasmine, and Stacia. Stacia from season 15, I think. So Stacia gives us a quick update about her life. We all know that she and Nate ended up getting a divorce, and she said that the reason why they got a divorce was because she felt like he was too immature for her taste. His maturity level wasn't, up to par. And also, he could never really be definite about their future together. For example, when she asked him about children, if he was going to be ready to have kids within the next 2 years, he could never give her a definite answer. So, that's when they decided to call it quits, because she needed someone to be more to have a more, to be more definite about where their future was going to be, what it's going to look like, what the plan was going to be. And he was just a little bit too wishy-washy and all over the place for her. So she is divorced from Nate, and she is currently looking for her dad, because I think we knew that during the season she did not know who her dad was. I think so. She's looking for her dad. She's currently writing a book. She's also starting an adult toy line, and she's in the process of freezing her eggs. So Stacia is extremely busy. So let's get into it. Nicole. So they talk about Clint's apology at dinner, when he had to stand up and apologize to the group because the things that he said were not only offensive to Gina, it was also offensive to the other women as well. When he said that he prefers, or that he normally dates women who are slender and athletic. Okay, all of these women were offended. Already said in my review of the actual episode that they shouldn't really give a damn what Clint had to say or what Clint preferred. You only need to be worried about what your husband likes and not what Clint likes or doesn't like. But anyways, moving on. So when he got up to say his apology, which really wasn't an apology, I guess was more like he was still justifying why he said what he said. Nicole said that his speech was 45 minutes long, and it wasn't really an apology. It was him, pontificating. And then, so that was a little tidbit about the dinner scene with Clint. So with Jasmine, they showed the clip of Eris rating their relationship a 7 at the dinner table. And then they showed the clip where he rated his attraction to her a 3 or 4 out of 10. So Jasmine said that when she saw that, she was blindsided. I guess she had seen it, previously before being on the after party. She had seen that. She said that she was blindsided. And she said that she had always wanted him. And I think she even told him that she always wanted him to be honest and upfront about his feelings. So it's kind of like, okay, what's really going on here? At dinner, you give us a 7, but then around your boys, you say that your attraction for me is only a 3 or 4 out of 10. So Keisha says if he was honest, wouldn't he have gotten the Clint treatment? So if he would have told her up front that, look, I'm not really attracted to you, or my level of attraction for you is only a 3 or 4 out of 10, he would have been attacked by other women. If he would have said, I prefer a woman like this or like that, and that's not you, and that's why I'm not really attracted to you, they would have raked him over the coals. And so Keisha says, wasn't he just trying to protect your feelings? And Jasmine says if he was really interested in protecting my feelings, he never would have given me a lower rating when he was with the boys, if he really cared about protecting my feelings. That's why I think people, you need to be adult enough to stop with the ratings, because numbers are subjective. Okay. Numbers are subjective. So, I might think that giving you a 5 or giving you a 7 is great. I gave you a 7. That's above average. But then you might see that as the worst insult in the world because it's not a 9.9 or a 10. You know what I'm saying? Numbers are just so subjective, and we just need to stop with the ratings. So Jasmine points out that Eris was, very inconsistent, because she talked about how, when I walked down the aisle, he clapped as if he was really satisfied with, what I looked like. He talked about consummating our marriage during our honeymoon. He was asking me, my favorite sexual position. But then he tells me that he only gets friend vibes from me. So it's like he's very contradictory. Not inconsistent. The word I'm trying to say is contradictory. And when I heard her say that, I was like, Jasmine, you're a grown woman. Okay, I think you're in your 30s. Girl, look, when it comes to when it comes to sleeping with a woman, it don't take, this is not for all men. Okay. I know some men are very selective, but in general, okay. And this is just my opinion. When it comes to sleeping with a woman, a lot of men are not going to put a lot into it. For what I'm trying to say is, if he sees you as a 3 or a 4, he's still going to want to sleep with you. If he sees you as a 1 or a 2, he's still going to want to sleep with you. Okay, men will sleep with, and women too. Women too. Women will do it too. They can have no attraction for someone and still go to bed with them. So just because they rated you low, it doesn't mean that they can't sleep with you. They're not going to be able to perform the act. You know, he still, and I think the reason why he talked about consummating their marriage and asking her about her favorite position in bed, I think he did all of that because he wanted to sleep with her. But I don't think that his attraction for her is something that was as strong as his attraction for other women. Now, he never said he was not attracted to her. He kept saying that my attraction for her is not the same as her attraction for me. Now, I don't know how he can gauge her attraction for him, because it seems like neither one of them is really putting hands on the other. Neither one of them is like trying to rip off the other's clothes. So I don't know what he's using to gauge her attraction for him. I don't know if it's things that she's saying or things that she did, because she did question when she was giving him the massage. You know, she did make a point about how, well, this is like the most physical contact that we've had. And I guess that was her saying that she was expecting more physicality from him that he wasn't giving. So maybe that's what he was using to judge, you know, she's more into me than I am into her. But girl, just because he wants to sleep with you doesn't mean that, you know, his attraction for you has to be a 10, has to, you know, break the scale. Okay, girl, it don't take much. So Stacia says that Jasmine and Eris are the Stacia and Nate of season 16. And yeah, and I don't think that's a compliment. I think Stacia tried to make it seem like it wasn't that bad, but it's bad because it ended up in a divorce and Stacia ended up looking, I think Stacia looked foolish on her season, how she was constantly pouring her heart out to Nate, and Nate really wasn't doing the same, and she kept on pressuring him to have the same feelings that she had. She looked kind of desperate. So her saying that Jasmine and Eris are the Stacia and Nate of season 16, if I was Jasmine, I'd be offended by that, because Stacia looked crazy. So, but Jasmine kind of is that way, you know, where she's so worried about whether or not he can fall in love. That was the same exact issue that Stacia had with Nate, because Nate had said he had never been in love. And Stacia constantly brought that up. And that was a constant point of contention between the two of them, because it was like, if you've never been in love, then you never will be in love. So Jasmine's going through the same exact thing. You know, Jasmine trying to figure out how he's feeling about me, and, you know, where is he at with, it's whatever. And I talked about Jasmine and Eris in great length in my Married at First Sight review, how I feel like, you know, Jasmine probably laid it all out on the table, and now she's feeling kind of silly because he's not reciprocating. Okay, so they talk about what was not seen on the show of the dinner scene. So what we did not see was the chemistry between Dominique and Mac. So evidently Dominique and Mac were all over each other. They were in their own little bubble, their own little love bubble. Shout out to Teresa Giudice. And they were like, you know, whispering in each other's ear. They were all touchy-feely. None of this aired in the regular episode. So, but they did show clips of it on the after party. And it looked like they were really vibing with one another. And then when it came time for, you know, everybody to start dancing, because I think they had a singer or an entertainer, there was music playing, and it was time for everybody to start dancing, Dominique grabbed Mac's hand and they ran out of there. And so Nicole was saying, we don't know if they went to go consummate their marriage because of what we were seeing at the dinner table, or if something else was going on. We never really found out. And I'm pretty sure they didn't show that because of but they still could have showed it, but muted the music or played non-copyright music over the copyright music. So we still could have seen that scene. I thought that scene would have been, you know, extremely telling of what was going on, because up until now it seems like Mac and Dominique are like struggling with something, but from the clips that they showed us on the after party, they were not struggling with attraction. So back to Jasmine. So they showed the clip of the last morning in Jamaica where her and Eris were having the conversation about, I guess, how their feelings for one another. And Eris had told Jasmine that he was like getting more of a friend vibe. He has more of a friend, like he feels like there's more of a friend vibe between them. And obviously Jasmine, that completely put her off because she said, I didn't come here to look for a friend. Now, what they didn't show is before that statement was made, before that scene, a lot went down. And I don't know why they didn't show this on the regular episode. So they were exchanging phone numbers. And then after that, they started following each other on Instagram. And when they followed each other, they realized that they had friends in common. So, the people that were friends with her that he knew, she would ask, oh, how do you know so-and-so? And, vice versa. So there was a particular female that is her friend that is, she's friends with. And, this person is also, they found out that they both know her and was also a friend of Eris. And so Jasmine asked Eris, well, how do you know her? Because, this was her friend. And he says, well, 2 weeks before we got married, me and her, we were fooling around. They slept with each other. And Eris did bring this up earlier on in the season, in the season. I think it was when he went out for pizza with the guys before, they got married. He had brought up how, because I think he had asked the question, who at the table, when was the last time that you slept with someone? And only him and Clint had answered that it was pretty recent. Chris had said it had been a year, and I forgot what Max said, but it had been a while for him too, I think. So Clint and Eris were getting busy like right before they came on the show. And Eris, 2 weeks before the wedding, he has slept with this particular woman, and this particular woman is a friend of Jasmine. So obviously that turned her all the way off. And I wonder how they're going to navigate this. I mean, how do you go through a marriage knowing that your husband slept with someone that you personally know in your real life? Like, how do you navigate through that? That, to me, no wonder her whole entire demeanor seems to have completely changed since coming back from the honeymoon, because that's a lot. That's a lot. That's a lot. I don't know how close Jasmine is with this other female. I have no idea. But even if she knows her casually, it would be too much. It would be just too much, too close for comfort. And, man, that's a small, small world. Eris, why couldn't you? Because Jasmine said on the after party that ever since she started this process, she has seen herself as somebody's wife. And so she acted accordingly. But evidently, Eris did not see himself as anybody's husband, because he was wilding out, running amok in these Nashville streets. So moving on from there. So back to Nicole. So they talk about Chris's breakdown on the patio their last morning in Jamaica when he was crying about his dog. And Keisha said, when they showed that scene of him crying, I thought somebody had died. And Keisha asked Nicole, was that a red flag for you to see him get so emotional so early on? And Nicole was like, no. I see Nicole and Chris are going to be the, oh my God, Miguel and Lindy. They're going to be the Miguel and Lindy of season 16, where they always want to present themselves as kind of like the golden couple. And, nothing's wrong with their relationship. They're going to hide all of their flaws and all of their cracks from everybody else. So Keisha asked her, was that a red flag for you to see him get so emotional so early on? And she was like, no. It wasn't, not at all. She said that it actually showed how much he cared about his dog. So she didn't see it as a red flag at all. I kind of got the feeling that Keisha and Jasmine and Stacia kind of felt like he was doing a bit much. We understand how people feel about their pets, and that our pets are members of our family. They're like people to us. And for some people, they're like children. And you're not going to want to leave your child behind if you're moving somewhere else, in a whole different, scenario than Married at First Sight. You would not want to leave your children behind or separate your kids. So obviously he felt some kind of way about it. But did it warrant all of the crying and all of that when we can, because she's going to have to separate from her dog. and she didn't break down. And I'm not going to say it's because she loved her dog any less than he loved his, but she didn't break down. So I don't know, y'all. I don't know. I don't want to be too judgy about that because it's a very sensitive topic. It's a very sensitive issue, how people feel about their pets. So I'm not going to say too much about that. I'm just going to leave it at that. But it's understandable on one hand that he would be emotional, but was it too much? I don't know. I'm just going to leave it at that. Anyways, thank you so much for joining me. I really do appreciate it. On your way out, do not forget to rate the video. If you like this content, please go ahead and subscribe, and I will definitely talk to you later.